full color, Captain Underpants and the Preposterous Plight of the Purple Potty People. Captain Underpants and the Preposterous Plight of the Purple Potty People. For Elizabeth Goldberg, long life the EEC. Forward. The often told untold story of Captain Underpants, George and Harold, those wacky grown-ups, the School of Hard Knocks, Purple Pottyville, Strangers in Paradise Lost, the world according to George, getting out of town, the Preposterous Plight of Captain Blunderpants, not without my hamster and my pterodactyl, hypno horror, crackers to the rescue, kablamisty, purple potty people unit, a chapter where some stuff happens, super supper, the adventures of Boxer Boy and Great Granny Girdle. Meanwhile, back at the treehouse. Crash. What does that say? When hamster attack come. The incredibly graphic violence chapter, part 1, in Fliporama. The anticlimactic chapter. Kaboom! 2 minutes later. Nobody messes with our grandbabies. An incredibly graphic violence chapter, part 2, in Fliporama. Shrinky Dorks. Incredibly graphic violence chapter, part 3, in Fliporama. Wrapping things up. To make a long story short, to make a longer story even shorter, the chapter where nothing bad happens, the thing that could be worse than going to jail for the rest of their lives. Hi everybody, as you can see, we've been experiencing some technical difficulties. This book should get you up to date on our story for spell. The often told untold story of Captain Underpants by George Beard and Harold Hutchins. Once upon a time, there were 2 cool kids named George and Harold. Or hep to the jive, me too. But they had a mean old principal named Mr. Krupp who was mean. I'm mad and stuff. So George and Harold hypnotized him with a 3D hypno ring. He will obey our every command, okay? Then they accidentally made him think he was a superhero. You're Captain Underpants, okay? Look at me, I'm Captain Underpants. Ha 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 ha. But he escaped and ran off to fight crime. Rats, tra-la-la. George and Harold ran after him. Hey, come back here. No way. Then one day he drank some superpower juice. Glug, glug, glug. No, he has superpowers and stuff. Look at me. I got superpowers and stuff. Aw, man. But if you think that's bad, it gets worse. Pay attention because this part is important. The worst part is that whenever Mr. Krupp hears somebody snap their fingers, snap, he turns into Captain Underpants. Tra-la-la! Whenever somebody splashes water on Captain Underpants' face, he turns back into mean old Mr. Krupp. Blah, blah, blah. In their last adventure, George and Harold got 2 new pets. A bionic hamster named Sulu. Cool. And a pterodactyl named Crackers. Awesome. Everything was cool until this brainiac named Melvin showed up. I'm telling. Melvin made a time machine out of a purple potty. It looks like this. Purple potty. Anyways, George and Harold wanted to use the time machine, but Melvin had one rule. Don't use the time machine 2 days in a row. Okay. If you use it 2 days in a row, something very bad would happen. Okay. I mean it. Don't use it 2 days in a row. Okay. Seriously, don't use it 2 days in a row. Okay. Then, hey, let's use this thing 2 days in a row. Okay. So, George, Harold, Crackers, and Sulu used this time machine 2 days in a row. And something really bad happened. What will happen next? Treehouse Comics, Inc. Chapter 1, George and Harold. This is George Beard and Harold Hutchins. George is a skeleton on the right with a tie and a flat top. Harold is the one on the left with a t-shirt and a bad haircut. Remember that now. As you might remember from our last adventure, George and Harold had recently made the horrifying mistake of trying to pass through a cybernetic time warp without letting the C2X 906 super life drive the Beeble Flux complain a voice fire cooldown, thus creating a sub-paradoxical open the hyperdrive screen door into a sub-owning ultra-tentacular Bionansaurus. To put it in scientific terms, they screwed up. But don't get freaked out, because everybody looks like a skeleton. X-ray beams are normal by productive interpretation. Reality shifting. Don't worry, it'll probably clear up by the time you turn the page. See, what did I tell you? George, Harold, and their loyal pets suddenly found themselves wishing that they had never set foot inside the petrifying purple potty that was about to send them all on a journey into the horrifying abs of the unknown, a journey that would probably spell impending doom for themselves and would most likely bring about the end of our civilization as we know it. But before I can tell you that story, I have to tell you this story. Chapter 2, Those Wacky